Mitch Eliot, welcome to Sensory Overload.
I did not go on for love. I literally felt like I was dying. Like I was like, this is it. This is where I die. I was kind of the one that did it. One day you can feel so straight. One day you feel so queer. Sexuality is so beautiful. People just need to loosen the fuck up. Thanks for having me.
Of course, you're welcome anytime. How have you been? Where have you been? What's life looked like lately?
Life has been a lot of me sitting at the beach, getting tan, surfing, bit too much partying. Yeah.
Just a little bit too much?
A little bit too
Where
much.
do you surf?
Bondi Beach. The surf is pretty fucking shit there, to be honest.
Do you take the community boards?
No, like, no,
Right,
no, I've got my own board. I
used to take the community boards. There's no fins on those.
No, there's nothing.
Those things.
No
and
wax.
like actually surfing there is horrendous.
Yeah. I only found out about them like last year. I didn't know you could just grab boards and just use them. Yeah.
Such a cool idea, but like it's so bad
I don't
at
know
the
how
same
they
time.
don't get stolen.
There's no fins, there's no straps, there's nothing.
No one wants them.
Like there's not even any wax on the board. You're like
Yeah.
literally just raw dogging it.
Mm-hmm.
But what kind of work are you doing at the moment?
So I'm still doing a bit of personal training. I like to keep busy other than just making content. I love making content, but I don't know, making one video a day doesn't really fill up my days. So yeah, trying to just, do some.
You gotta ramp it up.
Huh?
Make 4.
I can't sit there on my phone editing for longer than an hour. I just get so I get so agitated. I need to get out, and then I just implode.
Really?
Yeah.
Do you find it harder now being single that like doing content you have to do it yourself?
Yeah, and I'm like, normally I had like someone to take the videos for me, take the pics, and now I'm texting my mates and be like, hey, you guys need to come and take photos of me. Like, you're gonna have to start paying me for this. I need someone to do it. Work.
Do you ask guys to do it?
Huh?
Do you ask guys to do it?
Guys, girls.
Oh, that's my one thing. I get so awkward taking
Really?
photos with guys. Like,
But you've got
I just hate men. So like,
you have like content creating friends, don't you? Like guy mates.
yeah, like
sure they understand.
like I used to shoot with one mate, and that was fun.
Yeah,
And like we would do it together, but I also just hate taking content when
those guys.
you have to
around.
get them content too. That's another thing I
I'm,
hate.
I'm quite fast with it, so
Yeah.
they can just be like boom, 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 and then I'm done.
Yeah.
It's not like a big task, you know?
No, I just like literally just pay somebody.
Yeah.
Have an assistant that does it. It's so much
Good
easier.
idea.
It's so much easier.
Yeah.
I'd rather pay the money than actually take photos.
Yeah,
of
I
somebody
paid my
else.
mate one time, and I was like, I'll pay $100 just to come take some photos of me, and did it. And I was like, maybe I'll just do this every time, because like what? That's like 5%, 2% of your pay.
But you probably didn't even need to do $100.
Yeah, no,
Be like $100 an hour and then take 15 minutes.
yeah,
$25.
yeah. Good idea.
But I kind of just want to dive into your life, who you are, how you've come to Sydney now because you're from New Zealand. How was that transition? Because obviously, especially me, because I moved from a country town into a bloody whole different state in the middle of COVID. I could never imagine moving actual countries and how much that would change me as a person.
Yeah.
What were you like as a person in New Zealand?
So I'm from an area that's like 1,000 people. Like that's our town
looks stunning,
population.
though.
Yeah, it's stunning. It's like, it's a little beach town in the middle of nowhere, about an hour and a half out of Auckland. And it's just like tiny.
Is it north or south of Auckland?
East of Auckland.
East.
So it's on the east coast.
Oh,
So you got the west coast, which is like the black beaches. And then like the east coast is like, they just look like beaches here.
Yeah.
You know?
Looks
but
like
a lot
the Gold
more,
Coast or Byron Bay.
yeah, but a lot more, it's like Byron, a lot more green with the blue. And yeah, I was just, I don't know, in high school, I was just, didn't listen, didn't focus, was just terrible at every subject.
Yeah.
And yeah, there was just nothing to do back home. And I just thought, there's got to be something else out there.
Yeah.
It's not just this. And then moved to Auckland, and Auckland was still just like boring as fuck. Can I swear?
Yeah. Bro, we say fuck shit cunt on here. Like, we say everything.
And yeah, and then moved to Sydney.
Fuck. So
Yeah.
how long were you in Auckland for?
Auckland was a few years, and I was like, at first I was like, yeah, big city, this is unreal. And then like, big city, I know, that's the biggest city in New Zealand. And I was like, wow, this is so cool. And then like it died off within like 2 years, and I was like, okay, mate, I need to change. I need to get out of here.
And did you apply for Love Island while you were in Auckland, or were you in Sydney?
So I got, how did it work? My housemate at the time, her friend's friend was casting for it. And my housemate was just like, I'm going to show her your Instagram. And I was like, sweet, like didn't think anything of it. And then like the next day she just DM'd me. And I was in New Zealand at the time, but me and my friends were looking for a flat in Coogee. in Sydney. And so I was planning on moving there anyway. And it kind of just like timed out that all that kind of worked out at the same time. And then, moved here and then straight into Love Island.
So many people go on like, these dating shows, like any reality show, like, I don't know if it's like for the right intention, like the actual purpose of the reality show they're going on.
Yeah.
Or like if there's a different motive behind. I'm sure you've dealt with it.
I did not go on for love. No one. I can probably say from my season or from any season, it's about like 10% of people go on for love.
Right.
Like,
but who's going on a reality show for love?
I know.
Like
no one, like
really?
no one goes on it for love.
Like I feel like the first seasons when they would do it and it was like this whole thing, like they've never done it before. You don't know if it's going to blow up or anything.
Yeah. No.
I get it. But like
nowadays, no one's going on it to find their person. Like everyone's kind of just in it for a holiday, bit of this, bit of that, Like it's not for love.
Yeah. What was the kind of, I guess, motive when you were going on? Obviously not for love, but were you kind of insinuating in your head that maybe you might find somebody in there that...
To be honest, nah, it didn't even really cross my mind. I didn't even think of it like that. Like, this might be a bit deep, but maybe like 4 years before the show, me and one of my best mates would always talk about, we just wanted to get out of New Zealand. We were like talking about how we just want to get the fuck out. Like, New Zealand's so small, not a lot going on. And I was like, and he would always be like, oh, you should go on Love Island, or you should go on like something like Big Brother, or not maths. I was 19 at the time, so not maths. And he's like, just start, like, I don't know, just do this, do that. And I was just like in my little bubble. I was like, no, I'm happy here. My family's here. My friends are here. Yeah. And we just talked about it all the time. And all my friends did. All my friends were like, you should do this, you should do this. But I specifically remember me and him talking about it all the time. Anyway, this is where it gets deep. Me and him one night were driving back from a night out and we were in a really bad car accident.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. And drink driving.
Yeah.
And I like remember after the car accident, I opened the door and just laid on the ground, and I just looked up, and I was like, I literally felt like I was dying. Like I was like, this is it. This is where I die. And I remember just sitting there thinking like, I just need to get the fuck out of this country before I die. Like I was just like, I need to go and experience all the stuff. Like I want to like just say yes to everything, like like just parties, invites to anywhere, traveling, just want to say yes. And then I didn't die. Yeah. And I got out. My mate died that night.
I was going to say, I think I've seen that on your stories.
Yeah.
That would be so fucking hard.
It was the craziest, going through that at 19.
Oh.
It was just like the craziest experience ever. Oh. And yeah, after that, I just remember being like, I'm just going to say yes to everything, like for him and for me, just to be like, I'm like, have you seen the movie Yes Man?
Oh, no.
Jim Carrey.
In the name, there's a...
he just says yes to everything. And I was like, I'm going to say yes to everything. So it actually got out of control where I was like, someone would be like, come to this party on a Wednesday night. I'm like, yes. Take this drug. Yes. Drink this drink. Yes. And I'd just be like, yes. And it actually got me into some dumb situations. And for like a few years, like my mate's like, let's go to Asia. Let's travel Asia. Yes. So I went traveling in Asia. Let's do this. Yes. And then Love Island came about and I was like, yes. Like,
fuck it.
And ever since then, it's got me into some bad situations, but also some great situations.
Are you still saying yes?
Yeah, still saying yes. I kind of toned it back now.
Maybe man.
Yeah, a maybe man. A yes, but maybe 30% of the time.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's kind of why I went on. I mean, obviously, as soon as they said it's in Spain, I was like, I've never been to Europe before. Yeah. Take me to Spain. The fact that there's going to be a whole bunch of hot people in a villa, I was like, yes. And then I honestly did not think I would be able to make a job out of it after. Like it didn't even cross my mind that I'd be able to make money off it. Like coming from New Zealand, we just don't have influencers, content creators.
Did you go into the idea of like being an influencer?
No,
in quotation marks,
honestly,
at all?
Not. Like if now what I know about influencing and content creating, maybe my mindset would have been different. But back then I was so naive to it all. I was just like, Love Island, yeah, that's such a cool show. I'm gonna go see Spain. I'm gonna like see all these hot chicks and like all this stuff. And so I was just, that was my mindset at the time. Not love and not making money from it. And then after I was like, wow, I can actually make money from Instagram, from TikTok.
So you definitely weren't going on there like cautious of what you were doing.
No. If you watch it back, you definitely know I was not.
So I can't, especially when I know people from the season.
Yeah.
I'm like, they don't seem like that person to me anymore. Like they don't.
Nah. And that was
act like that at all. And probably the mind fuck to you because you're like, oh my God, like that person now like is so different to who I am now. Like,
and they still get comments. It's been 2.5 years. Still people are like, you did this. And I'm like, I know 2 years doesn't seem like that long, but like a lot has happened in 2 years where I'm like, I'm such a different person.
Exactly. What does it feel like to look back at yourself now on that show, especially like even seeing clips on your TikTok or
still clips is like comes up and I'm like, how are we still on this subject?
Right.
Like,
but does it make you wig out that like
it does
seeing yourself like that?
Yeah, it does make me wig out. I just feel like that person was just such a different person to me now. Like that person had never had a relationship, had never felt heartbreak, had never done this, had never done that. And now looking at me now, I'm like, wow, 2 different people. And it's only been, 2.5.
But then you've been through so much, like
Yeah.
at such a young age, going through a car accident and losing somebody, like even moving out of your hometown at a young age, like even I think in Australia, like so many people don't move away for so long.
Yeah.
Like I've got friends that are literally like 25, 26 that still, sorry, my manager's literally sitting here, but like still live at home. She is moving out, but like they still like, it's just like not, I guess a thing that people put priority on to move out and go
see the world,
change your scenery and go experience something different. Like it's not
if I can give one bit of advice, it's like leave your comfort zone, no matter if it's like a job or anything, just change it, take a risk.
Yeah.
Like the best thing I ever did was leave my hometown.
Oh, for sure.
And I love everyone there, but it's the best thing I ever did.
You can always go back.
And you can always go back. Doesn't
always
change.
go back.
Yeah.
But I think that also people like move and then they get so scared. They don't have any friends. They don't have that circle anymore. And they fret and they think like, oh, fuck, this is what it's going to be like forever.
Yeah.
But they don't realize you have to work and build that.
Yeah. It takes time.
It doesn't happen overnight.
Yeah.
Like,
people move and they're like, oh, I've made no friends. And it's like, it takes time. You're not going to find friends overnight.
Exactly.
You're going to find them in a week.
And you go through them too. Like,
yeah. And you filter out the bad ones and you get some good ones.
Yeah.
You're right.
You went on Love Island. You kind of were just there to fuck shit up pretty much and just
live
life. Say yes.
I was a single boy. I was 24 when I applied. Like I was young.
24? How old are you now?
27.
What?
Yeah.
I thought you were 23.
What?
This whole time.
You thought I was 23?
Yeah.
Nah.
Oh shit.
27, yeah.
That's why your email was like 1998.
Yeah. I know, I'm like, that's a stitch up. I have my birthday. When I get to like 50 or something, I'm about, why is that in there?
I did not put 2 and 2 together.
Mm-hmm.
But you went on Love Island. You met Phoebe.
Mm-hmm.
You guys, I remember falling in love with you guys, like just like watching you just fall in love together and then seeing you guys come out of it and be together for so long. Like it was just so cute. How was it actually finding somebody in there that you actually liked and wanted to pursue a relationship with?
Yeah, it was crazy. Like the first day, I don't know if you remember, but first exact day we saw each other and we were just like got together, and from then on it was just like us two the whole time.
Yeah.
And the producers were about, you need to talk to this person, you need to go on, we want you to talk to the new girl, we want you to do this, you do this. And we just both didn't have any time for it. You know, we kind of like listened to them a little bit, but we didn't actually want to do those things. We were just like, oh, you know, we're here to do something. We don't want to be a bit boring. And yeah, I honestly just didn't expect to find, everyone expects to leave the first day, you know? Everyone expects you just out straight away.
Yeah.
So I did not expect to find someone on the show. And I did.
And you did. And
I did.
How long were you guys together for?
2 years.
Shit.
Yeah.
So like, even like I'm in my first relationship right now. And like, I don't think people realize how long 2 years is. Like that's like the version of yourself you were before 100%. Entering the relationship, and who you become is so different.
Yeah. How long have you guys been together now?
5 months.
5 months?
Yeah.
Wow.
Almost, yeah, 5 months, yeah.
5 months.
Crazy. It feels like yesterday that he asked me out.
Was did he come to Australia just to like, what, just a holiday?
Yeah, he was doing a study abroad, and then we were just like fucking around, and then, I mean, I was seeing 2 people at the same time, and like, I was like, this is always the way things happen for me, is like, I'll be interested in one person, and then every fucking other motherfucker comes out of the woodworks and wants... And wants to like either like go on a date, like see me, talk to me. I'm like, what the fuck?
What
like,
the fuck?
I was giving you like the eyes 3 months ago and you didn't want anything. And now it's, you want me all of a sudden. Like, always happened that way. Like every time I've like been interested in someone. And then we just like reconnected one night, like after like 6 weeks of not talking.
Oh.
And then we've been together ever since.
Oh.
Like pretty much from that day, it was like locked back in. Yeah. So now It's crazy. But like thinking about like 2 years, that's like,
Yeah, 2 years is 2 years. 2
That's
years
crazy.
in a relationship, it's like crazy when you're in it. But I feel like, you know, in 10 years, it's like, oh, 2 years wasn't that long. But like at the moment, 2 years, like, whoa, it's like a whole lifetime.
But you got a tattoo.
I did get a tattoo.
Which says, P.S. I love you. Which
Yes,
is
I love you. Yes.
Phoebe's initials.
Phoebe's initials.
Talk to me about that. We need to talk about this.
I think I honestly don't really remember it all. The last like few end of the months was a bit of a blur, but I think we always said we'd get matching tattoos, and I just got the tattoos. She
just never got it.
She never got it. No, I think I always said I'd get a tattoo for her for like a birthday or something, because like, I don't know, I love tattoos and I loved her. So
where is it? It's just
yeah. And yeah, I like it and I still keep it. I'm not going to get rid of it, you know?
No.
Nah.
It's a time in your life.
Yeah, exactly. It reminds me of like such a special 2 years. So
yeah,
I look at that and think of the 2 years that I had.
Do people ever like, why do you have your ex's initials on you?
Some people do. Girls always come up to me, like not come up to me, but like if I'm talking to girls and like they don't know, like if I'm talking to a girl night out or something, they'll be like, oh, so what are your tattoos? And they go through the meanings and I tell them one, they're like, what the fuck? Why are you telling me this? And I'm like, I'm not going to lie and say it's from the movie. I'm just going to tell you the truth. And they're like, okay, weird thing to bring up on the first time we're talking. Like, you asked.
But I think that's like, it's cool because it does have like, can have two different meanings.
Yeah.
Like,
and maybe if it ended, like it was a bad relationship and it ended badly, or like she cheated or something, it probably wouldn't be like so special, but it didn't end like that. So
yeah. But I guess also ending badly, because she was very vocal about the breakup.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like you've stayed pretty like nonchalant about it.
I feel like because, and I won't speak for her because obviously she's not here and she can't say anything, but I just think I just didn't say anything because I was kind of the one that ended it. I mean, it was ending, but I kind of like ripped the Band-Aid off. And I feel like I let her, if she wanted to vocalize it, if she wanted to talk about it, that's fine with her. But I just didn't really want to say my piece, especially that early on. I mean, it's been like nearly 10 months now. So it's like, they're both fine. It's like, you know.
Does it bug you when, I know because I've seen it a few times and I know how I feel when someone, like you just know when something's about you.
Yeah.
Especially like with brand deals, I guess like obviously marketing, like you know that's going to get attraction.
Yeah.
But how does it make you feel when like you see like a brand deal that's got sponsored or you might have like muted her, like not wanted to see it, not even seen it, and then you get paid out and be like, oh, my ex and I are reconnecting or whatever. That's just an example. But how does that make you feel when you see stuff like that?
At first when I saw stuff about me, I was like, oh, like the only thing that I didn't like was like people in the comments being like, he's a dog, blah, blah, blah. But they're always going to do that. They're Phoebe fans. They're going to talk like bad about me to make her feel better. But when I saw like, if I see like her doing brand deals and stuff, I'm like, get that money. Like I honestly, I'm like, that's good. Like you're like, it's helping you. It's smart. It's helping her, you know, build like get better views or anything for her brand deals or her TikToks and stuff. And I'm all for it. She's never been like, Mitch is an arsehole, he's a dick. Like she's never ever said that.
I love how like she's just so like funny with it though. Like she like would be referring to another ex.
Yeah. And I'm like, do you? Like that's good. Like I'm not gonna do that because like I can't handle people being like, you don't shut up about it. You don't do this. Like, I'm just like, mate, I won't do it, but I love that she does. Yeah. But like a lot of people like to me, they say the same thing. They're like, have you seen this? Have you seen this? And I'm just like, go you. You do it.
I love that though. Like, that's obviously it'd be hard to do that.
Yeah.
Like I guess like me and everybody in my life at the moment is talking about the let them theory.
The what?
Let them theory. Like
what's that?
You need to look at it, bro. Like it's by Mel Robbins, and she pretty much it's like.
Oh, is it the chick that was? Is it the older chick that
like the blonde hair, the glasses? Yeah,
she was on the podcast with Jake Shane.
Yeah. And her. It's like let them, like if they want to do something, you take away like your personal emotions and have
100%
their decision be based purely off their own personal decision.
Yeah.
You let yourself not be affected by that.
100%. And like that, like she's hurting. She was hurting at the time. So I'm like, some of these things is out of hurt, you know? And I'm like, don't blame you, you know? You'll hurt.
Especially like with the, I guess, initial breakup video. There was I seen a lot of articles and we did so much research before this interview. 'Cause I wanted to dive so deep into this.
Yeah.
And I found one article where it was like close sources of Phoebe and Mitch have come forward and said kind of different things to what you guys were saying the breakup reasoning was.
Yeah.
I've never had something like that happen to me. So I can't really speak on a personal opinion, but having close sources, like quotation marks.
Depends how close they are.
Like, are they ever like legit or is that something like you didn't want on the internet? Do you feel betrayed that somebody's kind of coming out that, you know, coming forward with the truth of your breakup and you don't want that truth to be
the
on?
thing is, like, I just know the people in my life would never talk about my relationship to sources or anything like that. So I'm like, it wasn't on my side. It wasn't my friends. And I know Phoebe's friends, probably like her close friends wouldn't do that too. So it's someone that's like not really close enough to know. And I've said something and it's like, so that doesn't really bother me because it's someone that knows nothing about us. The fact that other people are talking about it and it's not true, I honestly couldn't care. As long as my friends know the truth, she knows the truth, and her friends know the truth, my family knows the truth, that's it. That's all I care about.
Literally.
Yeah.
But it is hard though. Like, I said this in the last podcast and like, no matter how much you say it doesn't affect me and it doesn't.
Oh, it's some,
Like, you know, even anybody in this industry, you can say, I don't give a fuck what the internet says.
Yeah.
You know, as long as my family and friends know who I am, that's all that matters. But at the end of the day, like, it still does affect you.
Yeah, it does. I say it doesn't because it doesn't more than it does. Does that make sense? Does that make sense?
No, yeah.
There is a small percent, like I read comments and I'm like, oh, they don't really affect me. But then like deep down, they have affected me because I'm sitting there reading them and I'm thinking about them, you know? And it's not like, I'm like, I just remind myself like these people that are doing these comments are like young girls that like have, you know, they don't know what they're saying. They don't know what they're talking about. And so I just remind myself, they don't know.
Yeah.
You know?
I guess it's hard for people, especially when they're that young, to understand the complexities of a relationship.
Yeah.
Like sometimes nothing bad has to happen for a relationship just to not to go for longer. Like there's things in a relationship that just happen and you figure out on your own that relationship isn't serving you anymore. And it's something that you need to kind of do for yourself to go into a whole new evolution of yourself and discover yourself. But it would also be so fucking hard breaking up with somebody. How did you go about it? How did that feel for you to do that?
Yeah, it was really hard. And also I'm just going to speak from my side. I'm not going to say anything from her side, but I just knew that I needed to be single, and people would be like, oh, this is a cop out. This is like you just want it out. But I actually needed to focus on myself. And people say like, oh, that's just a way out. You didn't want to be in the relationship, but I still loved her so much. I just needed to focus on myself, and I couldn't do that in a relationship where all my attention went to someone else. And that's not saying there's anything against the person I was with then. Yeah. Any person, don't matter who they were, I needed to be single to, like, I moved here straight into a relationship. I didn't have any social life. I didn't have any friends. My friends were her friends. I was living in her world, needed my own world. I was looking at myself in the mirror being like, I ain't happy with what I'm seeing because I wouldn't like go get a haircut because I wasn't happy in a relationship. I wouldn't eat healthy. I wouldn't eat nice, like good food because my idea of fun was eating junk in bed and watching TV, you know? I wasn't exercising. So I just needed to remind myself what I love most, which is like looking good, feeling good, eating well, working out, socializing. And I was doing none of that. Yeah. You know, and I wasn't happy. I was depressed at the end. And I just plucked up the courage and I just said, I need to end this, you know? And it was kind of because I was in such a rut and I wasn't happy, not because of her, because of myself, it just was affecting the whole relationship. And it just got to a point where
hard to kind of separate the romantic feelings and your feelings of needing to focus on yourself though. Like, I thought that would be so hard, especially post-breakup. You know, obviously if there's something actually hasn't happened.
Yeah, that's the hardest part.
You still have these romantic feelings about someone.
Yeah, that was the hardest part. And people were like, oh, he doesn't care because he broke up with you. And like, no one was there. No one was there for me to reach out. My friends were, but I didn't have any friends here. Like, no one was there. Like, I didn't have anyone to reach out to because they were all just like, you dumped her. You, like, no one yeah, they were like, you dumped her, so you obviously you're fine. You're not sad. You're not heartbroken.
Yeah.
But I had to do what I did. Doesn't mean I wasn't sad about it. I was devastated, heartbroken. But yeah, it's taken time. Like that's all you can do is just like let time do its thing.
Yeah. Have you figured it out yet? Or
like I still navigate it. Like the best thing to do is no contact. We figured that out like right after it. It was just like calls, texts, like seeing each other in the street, like, and now that it's no contact, it's so much easier. Like it's so much easier. The feeling's always going to be there, but you're not reminded of them all the fucking time.
Yeah, that'd be so fucking hard.
Yeah, especially because
like, not on your part, but like I also feel hard for her because I know she was on the socials being like in the whole breakup, she was saying you were acting off, and she thought you were going to propose.
Yeah.
And then to be hit with that, like I do feel for her, and I get why people like kind of like would have put her as in not saying nobody's a victim or anything,
100%,
but like that would be so hard to also like comprehend in your own head.
I know
for her, like, and also you to navigate that and try and not hurt somebody's feelings when you need to do that for yourself.
Well, that's what also like breaks my heart. I'm like, she was planning all this future. She was like, kids, marriage, and I wanted that too. At the time that we were talking about it and stuff. And then for her to just like not have that anymore, like me thinking about that now just like breaks me because I'm like, she was so certain on this. She was so in love. She was so this. And then her whole world just changed. Her whole world just collapsed on her.
Yeah.
And that's what I feel so bad about. I feel like guilt. Like all the time I just feel guilty because I did what I thought was right. And then sometimes I'm like, was it right? Should I have just stuck it out? Should I have just done this, done that? But
I think you did do the right thing.
I think I did the right thing too.
And if you push that feeling away and you wait and you never know how that's going to come back to you later, and you're going to regret that and hold that resentment against somebody else.
100%.
And that's a whole another spiral of a breakup that you probably would not want to deal with.
Yeah.
So I think you did do the right thing in terms of doing that for yourself.
Yeah.
And if you guys find your path.
Exactly. And if like I just need, and I'm still not there. I'm still like, I'm working on myself and I'm doing so well. Like everything in my life is working out. I'm earning more, I'm exercising more, I'm doing everything I wanted to do. And this is everything that I ended the relationship for, and it's all working out. So I'm like, in the future, I'll be the perfect person. Well, maybe not the perfect person, but I'll be such a better person for someone new. Yeah. If we were to get back together, like I'd be such a better person, and I'd just be way better in a relationship.
100%. What have those things been that you've learned about yourself? That's such a hard question.
It's such a hard question. But things I've learned is just like trust your gut. If something's telling you to do something, you can't stop thinking about it. Just follow your gut. What have I learned? Just pretty much that you're the only person that you can trust. Like you're the only person that's going to be there through your whole life. Like you've just got to put yourself first, put your mental health first, put your everything first.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
But what like for you personally, like, is there things like even dating now, like probably, I don't know if you've been in like situationships or whatever, are there things where you're like, fuck, like I don't like that version of me when it comes to like jealousy, or does it come to like how you act in a relationship or how you treat people? Like, has that kind of altered your perspective on yourself after going through the breakup?
I've learned that a relationship takes a lot of work, like a lot of work. Like I was in the bad parts of the relationship, I was drinking a lot, and I learned that I wouldn't say I have a bit of a problem with drinking. But
it's the culture as well.
It is the culture, but like
it's hard not to.
Yeah, it is hard not to. But I just I learned that I use things to block out some things that I don't want to think about in my life sometimes. Maybe like the past, maybe things that have happened in the past, maybe trauma.
Yeah.
And I've just learned to if you're in a relationship with someone and that thing is really bothering them, you need to work on it. And I really struggled with that. I really struggled to be told that this is a problem. And I would get my back up about, oh, this isn't a problem. Or even I learned that I'm quite nonchalant in a relationship. I'm quite you stay out all night, you do you. And whereas a lot of girls want you to be I don't think a lot of girls want you to be, you have to be home at this time. They want you to care and want you to be want you to be
it's the effort.
Come home and hang out with me. Or they want you to just want them. And I feel like I need to show that a lot more in my next relationship. I need to be more, less independent, less nonchalant.
Yeah.
If anything.
Yeah.
Like I need to realize that person is now as important as myself. And I need to like, it's hard because
I get what you're saying where you can't let your emotions and how you will see validation or wanted in a relationship as well. Be so different to somebody else. So like,
you just need to understand what they want. And like, even though I was giving my all to this person, I need to give it in a way that they want it. Like I need to be like, let's go on dates more. I need to be complimenting more. Where I was just like, oh, we're in a relationship. I've already got her, like I don't need to do those things.
But that's the thing. You don't know those problems until they are a problem.
Exactly.
And that's where like a lot of people that make mistakes in relationships or fuck up or just anything, life in general, when you do make that kind of fuck up or you notice that there's a problem, that's where mistakes can be used as a learning curve and you can create something positive out of it and notice what's kind of affecting you in the sense of, okay, I'm understanding how this is now affecting somebody else. And this isn't just about me. And I think that's life and that's about learning.
Exactly.
And you need to go through that to actually figure that out for yourself. And there's so many fucking people that need to figure that shit out. It's fucking
It's not too late.
it's not too fucking late. But I mean, like, you're single now, you're learning so much. How has the single life been?
Single life, they always say like the girl goes through it and the boy goes through it 3 months later. And it's so true. Like that couldn't be further from the truth. After the relationship, I was like, I went straight to Bali, got on a plane, went to Bali, did the whole, did that. And I was there for just under a month and I was like partying every night, not thinking about my problems back here in Sydney. And I was just like, it was the best time of my life because it was the best thing I could have done because I probably would have been sitting at home regretting my decision and wanting her back, blah, blah, blah. And I just went and partied and then she was going through it all, like heartbroken, everything. And then I got back still partying, still doing this, still, finding out what I like, what I don't like, who I like, who I don't like, drinking lots, partying. And then it got caught up to me 3 or 4 months later and I was like, wow, I'd really like someone to cuddle right now.
I want to jump into the Bali trip though, because I feel like that would have been a crazy experience.
It was so good. Like, I hadn't, because I just dedicated so much of my time and effort into a relationship, maybe not even effort, but just like a lot of my time. I wasn't really going out, wasn't really socializing. So here's this single guy who's been in a relationship for 2 years, had not been out, had not really been doing much. And I've just been let loose in Bali. And I was just, not as in, I honestly didn't even sleep with anyone. Like I did not, like I was not even thinking about that. I still can barely think about it now. But I was just like, I had no one to tell me you can't get this drunk or you shouldn't get this drunk or you shouldn't do this, you shouldn't do that.
You're a free man.
I was a free man. And so
yes man, he's free man.
I was a yes man, now I'm a free man. And I just went a little bit too hard and then, exactly. It got back in it. Slapped me in the face a little bit.
Yeah. So how does your identity now kind of look like?
My identity now is just honestly just figuring out who I am. And that was a lot of a struggle, I feel like, in my last relationship. I didn't know who I was. And I feel like we're always going to, for the rest of our lives, we're always going to be figuring out who we are, We're always going to be figuring out so much about ourselves. And I feel like in a relationship, it was so hard for me to do that. And now I just feel like, I'm figuring out everything from what kind of person I want to be with. If it's like even gender, like anything, like from just being in such a small little bubble in New Zealand, we didn't have a lot of options. There wasn't a lot of diversity. There wasn't different kinds of
1,000 people.
Yeah,
Jesus. I know people that have slept with all of them.
And 60% of them was over 40. So like, didn't have a lot of options.
No.
And now I'm in this big city, single for the first time. I'm running in muck, but I'm not sleeping with everyone. I'm not dating everyone. I'm just, slowly just, going out and just talking to people. I'm just trying to figure out life, like sexuality is so beautiful. Like, and I think that it needs to be something that people just need to loosen the fuck up. Like people just need to like, and I'm not saying a straight girl needs to go and fuck a woman, but I'm just saying like, if you have these little even just a little thought, just explore different options.
Explore it, yeah.
Like even if that person's not your normal type, you know, you could open a whole new world. Like I know one of my friends who only slept with a certain type of guy, like very certain. And then she started sleeping with another guy, and now she won't sleep with a certain guy. And now she's like on this type.
People just narrow it down too much.
Yeah,
and they want to like lock themselves into one thing. And
100%.
And I guess as you get older, you kind of realize how many layers and complexities are in a relationship. And you know, even if somebody's like, oh, like I wonder what it's like to, you know, just go on a date with a guy. It doesn't have to be anything sexual,
100%.
like, or with someone from the same gender.
And if it freaks you out,
whatever. But I guess also figuring that out for yourself and understanding what you like, you know, just you can learn so much
100%.
about yourself. It doesn't even need to be about the sexuality. It can just be about yourself and what you want to learn. And there's so much that comes out of it and so many positives that people don't realize.
100%. And it's exciting. Like it's also like so many people are so scared to put labels on themselves. Like everyone's like, oh, if I do that, that means I'm gay. Or if I do that, that means I'm like bisexual. And it's like nothing that no one's telling you, no one's saying that. Like if you do this, you can still be straight. You're just curious, or you can still be gay, but you can talk to someone of opposite gender and explore that, you know?
Right.
Like everyone's so like, I get DMs now and people about what's your sexuality, or like, and I'm like, none of your business.
None of your business.
First of all, and second of all, it's I just don't believe that we have to have a name for it. I don't believe that we have to have a label, because one day you can feel so straight, one day you can feel so queer, one day you can feel so whatever, you know.
Exactly. It's up to you and like how you want to portray that. I used to say all the time, because my thing was, ever since I've been 16 years old, I've only ever been with straight guys up until last year. Yeah. And it would wig me out, because I'll be like, what the fuck? Like, they're telling me they're straight, but then they're wanting to like do this. And it took me, it was such a learning curve for me as well. But I used to say to them, I'm like, you don't need to put a title on yourself just because we get together or we go on a date. Does not make anything. You can change a tire, doesn't mean you're a fucking mechanic. Like, it really isn't that deep. And at the end of the day, like, you're the one that can change that. You're the one that can tell yourself exactly what you want. Yeah. But I guess it gets really toxic for people when they do something that might seem different to what they used to, like might seem gay or whatever. Yeah. And they get in their head and like, fuck, people are going to think I'm gay.
Yeah, I still have it now. Like, I just got my ears pierced. And I was like, oh my God, people are going to think I'm gay. So
who gives a fuck?
And also, everyone has the ear pierced. Like, it's not a gay thing to do. Or my shirt, I was like, oh, it's a little bit tight. Well, people think it's gay, but I'm like, actually, if people said that you look gay, I'm like, that's not an insult.
It's a culture thing though.
Yeah.
People learn it from, you know, the older generations, and the fuck, like having I think what my ear piercings on the right side, like right side means gay or whatever. All these things that maybe people did back in the 1800s when it was illegal to be gay that means something. Have
this mentality. I remember when we were younger and I would be watching TV shows. I remember specifically it was like Desperate Housewives, and there was this guy kissing another guy. My family were like, ooh, that's disgusting. Like, my family would never say that now. I have the best family in the world. Yeah. And they're so accepting of everyone and everything. But I just remember all of us, not me, but I just remember people being like, ooh, that's so disgusting. Like, why do they have to do that? And I was like, well, okay, we can't do that. We won't be doing that.
It's like the internal homophobia that comes out. But it develops.
It's even in me sometimes. And I'm like, and even though I'm so open and
Even when I won't kiss my boyfriend in like, I do, but like, I get scared
about it sometimes.
Not even that, like my internal homophobia, I'm like, fuck, like I'm either scared for my safety, for other people are going to think. Yeah. Or like, I'm also just like, oh, fuck, that's a bit gay. Like, and like, wait, I'm in a relationship with a man. Like,
pretty gay.
By myself. There is so many complexities to it. And even though, you know, your brain is so wired to think, you know, I don't want to be perceived like that, or I'm going to get hated on if I'm acting like that, or it's just all internal and it's all in your own head.
100%.
And I think it takes people that they just can't comprehend it.
Yeah.
Like even my family like doesn't sometimes, like, they accept me, they love me for who I am, but like even I think they struggle because they're just from an older generation. Yeah. To like understand it.
Yeah. 100%. Yeah.
But I just worry that like, fuck that older generation, like the whole mind fucks they're going through.
Yeah.
I couldn't even imagine. That's a battle I would never want to dive into.
And yeah, a lot of them would be stuck in the closet and they just wouldn't feel comfortable. But I think as our generation becomes the older generation, hopefully that's all wiped out, you know, in 50 years, there will not be any of that, hopefully.
Yeah.
Because the younger generation are more woke, you know? So once they're the older generation, we should only get woker and woker, you know?
Exactly. And I think people are just like, people are so beautiful. Like,
100%.
bro, like even like my friends, like they're so beautiful and I see them not in a romantic way. Like I see them in a platonic way, but just like experiencing, you know, the love that they give and accepting it and just being open to all kinds of love. Yeah. It's just so beautiful.
It is. Yeah.
And I hate that people fucking put so many restraints on it. Like, who gives a fuck?
Who gives a fuck who you fuck?
But I kind of want to like dive into it a little bit more and try to like kind of understand it. And I think it's just so inspiring as well because, I think there's one more. There's one other person from Love Island that kind of has like been open about their sexuality. But there's so many people, I know so many people on the show as well that have experienced those things. Yeah. For you to be actually open to talk about it, it's so inspiring for one. Yeah. But I kind of want to just hear your thought process and kind of how you feel.
I just feel, I actually, a girl, I don't know if I should name her. She talked about it on TikTok.
Oh, really?
Another girl from like most recent season of Love Island. She's dating a girl now. I don't know if I want to say her name.
She talked about you.
No.
I was like, what a bitch.
No.
Publicly?
She talked about it on TikTok, so surely I can talk about it here, right?
Yeah.
My girl M, she actually talked about dating a girl recently.
I met her the other day.
Yeah, she's so fucking cool.
So cool and so fucking beautiful.
Yeah. And she was like, she just said, she's starting dating this girl now. I think she's done, I don't know if they're dating, but like seeing each other. And I was like, wow, she was like, you know, dating a boy on the show. Like she won the show and like people respected her and loved her and the comments were respecting her and loved her. And I was like, you know what? I should just be more open. Like it's not like I have to go out and like come out.
No.
I just need to go out and just be like I don't even know what I am. I don't even know how I'm feeling, but I just know that I just want to be more open and fluid and just chat about it, you know?
Exactly. I've never come out.
Really?
Never.
This is Bill coming out.
This is my coming out video. Fuck. Make two of us. But there's no pressure to. I've always been, you know, just open about like if I like something and I want to do it in any aspect of life. Yeah. I'm going to do it. And I've never put that pressure. Never even came out to my family. Never come out to my friends. I was just like,
this is it.
Yeah. Like,
yeah. You don't need to. Straight people don't need it. Straight people don't need to be like, hey, I've got a girlfriend now. Like they don't need to come out and say that they're dating someone or like they feel straight. So why should anyone else? You know, like you don't have. There doesn't have to be this whole big thing. You just start slowly discussing it. That's why I'm like, you know, I tell my friends. I'd be like, oh, this is what I'm doing. This is who I'm seeing. This is like kind of the level I'm on. And I just feel like the more we talk about it, the more other people feel comfortable to talk about it. And then there's, you know, kids at home sitting there being like, you know, I'm having thoughts, but I feel like it's wrong. It's bad.
Yeah.
If you see people
should never feel bad.
No. And if you see people that you follow or you watched on TV having these conversations and they feel like they can have these conversations and they don't feel like the odd one out.
Exactly. How did you navigate it kind of like being more open about it with your family?
I don't really talk to them too much about it. Like I've told them before and they're like, yeah, like fine. Like my parents are so chill. They're just brothers and sisters to me. Like they are. So it was just like telling my brother, which wasn't easy either. But like, it's just like, you
slip it in there.
Yeah, just slip it in there.
Yeah.
And yeah, they're fine. Like they're the most accepting people in the world. So there's nothing wrong with that.
People like, I guess they work it up so much.
Yeah.
Oh.
And that like, if they do have a problem with it, like if my parents were like, oh, we don't like that, I'd be like, well, fuck you. Like I'm not going to change for anyone, even if you are my parents, like the most, like my idols in my life.
Yeah.
I'm not going to change for them and they wouldn't expect me to, but even if they did say, we don't like that, it's like goes against what we believe in, then I just wouldn't have a relationship like I do with them now.
Yeah.
And if anyone, if a friend says that to me or
exactly
anyone I meet is like, oh, like doesn't like how I dress or what I wear or what I talk about, then they're not for me.
Have you experienced that at all?
Yeah, actually, not long ago, I was wearing a singlet. It was like quite tight.
Yeah.
And one of my friends in my group were like, "Are you bent?" Like bent. Sorry, I say bent. Are you bent?
Wait, so they went from Australia?
Huh?
They went from Australia?
No, they were English. But
I can see it from the...
Yeah. And I was like, "What?" And they're like, "You're bent." And I was like, "What do you, like, I know what you're trying to say, but like, what's giving off that I'm bent?" And he's like, "Your singlet, it's a bit, use some more gay slurs." And I was like, "Might be." And then he's like, oh, what? And I was like, "Well, what's it to you? Like, what the fuck are you saying? Like, what, because my singlet's too tight." And he's like, "Oh, yeah, I just thought because your singlet was a bit tight that you looked a bit like gay." And I was like, "And so what if I am? Why are you commenting on it? Like, you want to sleep with me?"
And then they backtrack.
And then they're like, "Oh, no." And they're like, "Well, if I was gay, I would sleep with you." And I'm like, "I do not need you to say that." Like, that is like
But
the biggest.
do you realize that's their internal dialogue kind of
And
projecting their own feelings?
Yeah. And I also think like it's their way of being like, I don't
They
have
want
a
to fuck
problem
you,
with
Mitch.
it.
They want to fuck you, Mitch.
I don't think this guy did. But yeah, I do. I don't really like, maybe now that I'm a bit more open with talking about it, I might run into a bit more problems. But
yeah,
for now, that was kind of the only thing that kind of stood out to me.
Yeah. But a lot of it is projecting of their own feelings. And like, even like, I know for a fact every time a guy says to me, "Oh, if I was gay, like you'd be the first guy I'd fuck," or I'm like, I know you're thinking about it. So like,
you said it.
Are we about to? Like, is that the thing?
Is that happening?
And most of the time, that's the lead way into the, me actually hooking up with somebody when I was single. Like, that was always the transition.
Yeah.
Was them being actually homophobic to me or saying something to me.
Yeah.
Or commenting about like my appearance and how they'd get with me if they were gay.
Yeah.
And it's always been the lead way onto like, oh, woke up next to them. Like, well,
wow,
yeah.
Really?
Yeah, like all the time. And that's the thing I used to struggle with so much with my sexuality was like, fuck, like my type was never anybody that was like physically presenting as gay.
Yeah.
And I think that might be my internal homophobia. Like, just that's how my brain was wired. And I think it was more of like I didn't want people to see me in public. Like, I didn't want anybody to see me in public with a guy and be like, "Oh, they're dating."
Yeah.
And now, like, obviously, I've grown so much since then.
Yeah.
I'm more of a don't give a fuck.
Yeah. If you like
personality
them,
about them and like just being seen in public, I literally could not give a fuck anymore.
Yeah.
But like at that same time, it was like, fuck, like it was so eye-opening to experience such hate.
Yeah.
And then like TMI, but like such love in bed when they're like,
yeah.
Like how you like in public
hating so much,
hating on me so much, and then message me later asking if I'm up. Like, I never understood that, and I guess that's why my message on the internet is trying to be so open about it and normalize the conversation, because the situations can get really unsafe.
Yeah.
Especially for young people. If you actually don't have your head screwed on, you don't have kind of your own strength and will to not care about like people saying homophobic stuff or being in the position of, maybe your safety is compromised.
Yeah.
You have to be so fucking safe about it. Like, especially like when you're young and like there's, especially like in that culture, like there's such a hookup culture as well.
It's a bit dirty, but
it is. And like, and that's nothing against gay people. That's like, even me just morally, like I don't associate with that. And I don't feel like that aligns with my morals. Like just hooking up with 100 different people.
Yeah.
Mind you, I'm like, when I say hook up, like I mean like just like they're in my bed kissing and like I don't ever sleep with anybody. They're very lucky to get that. But like even then, like there's such a big hookup culture that people just associate that as soon as you try to, dive into it or But there's so many different ways of doing it.
Yeah.
Have you had like some crazy experiences though, like in finding that path and going through that?
As in like what, sexual experices?
Just like especially dating, like
literally I haven't even been on one. I went on one date after my breakup. And like literally after my breakup, this is when I decided like I'm going to be more open. I'm going to start like, just not saying no, being a yes man again. So this is actually all new to me. Like I've known this deep down that I'm like open, a bit more fluid, a bit more this, a bit more that, but I've never really acted on it too much.
Yeah.
So this is just all about me figuring it out. Yeah.
But I hope you know, like, you can act on it as much as you want, and your image on who you are doesn't change. Because the values of who you are as a person isn't identified by your sexual interests or your dating interests.
And I just think I've never been one to have one night stands. You know, when I was 19, 20, 21, I was like, yeah, we're cool. We're going to go sleep with hoops. But you know, you get a bit older and I'm like there's so much connection when you sleep with someone. There's so much my mum has always said it to me, your like souls are like intertwining. Like it means so much to sleep with someone. I just don't want to do it with anyone. Yeah. And especially after being in a relationship where you're having sex with someone you love, nothing beats it. Like there's nothing that can beat having sex with someone that you love.
It's so good.
And so I'm not going to find that just by going on a date and sleeping with him after. I don't want that. I'd rather just stay at home and have a wank, you know? Like that's what I can do.
Exactly.
And you don't catch feelings there.
And then the PNC after, you're just like, you're just like, all right, cool, now I can go on my day.
Yeah.
Oh shit, I just hit the mic. But I guess like also you experiencing all of this is like figuring out who you are and what you like as a person and what you're gonna come out the other end of this. You know, however long this lasts until you in your next relationship, you're going to be such a better person. And they're
100%.
I'm not going to call them demons, but they're those inner thoughts that you do process. You know, when you're not acting on it, when you're not able to openly express that, that aren't going to come up anymore. And just being free about it feels so good. It
feels so freeing. After all the backlash and everything after the relationship, I felt so free to be myself, free to be whoever I want, do whatever I want, talk to whoever I want. And I just felt free, you know? And I don't know, going through a public breakup, crazy.
Yeah.
Like, it's just crazy because everyone has their 2 cents. Like, if you ever break up, I'm not saying that you will, but if you ever do, it's like everyone's commenting being like, Bill did this or Mitch did this.
It happened to me when I was seeing someone else.
Right, yeah.
Like that whole thing. Yeah. Like, and we weren't even dating. Like, we were just seeing each other.
And people comment, I see these comments about, I saw Mitch kissing this girl in a club. I'm like, I've never even been to that club before. Like, what are you saying? And they're like, oh, Mitch was holding hands with a blonde girl down Bondi Beach. I'm like, no, it wasn't.
No, brunette.
Yeah, it's no brunette. And it was a man. But like, it's just wild how the internet works like that. Like, people just I'm just going to comment this because I heard it from someone else and they heard it from someone else.
And like one side of the story gets taken into a whole different one and they spin it.
Yeah.
And
the side stories.
People just don't understand that on the internet.
No, they don't.
Like, but have you kind of like, obviously I know you want to do whatever the fuck you feel like, but like when it comes to like, obviously like dating, are you now open to like going on dates with people or experiencing that? Look, or are you still more closed off where you're just like.
It's hard. Like I want to date, but it's also just like, I know it's been a long time since my ex, but it's still just like, I just don't want to go on a date with the wrong person. I don't at the moment. It's going to take a lot for me to go on a date, whether it be whoever, you know.
Yeah. And
it's just it's going to take a lot, but I will slowly start to do it. I already have gone on one, and it was a disaster. And sorry,
can you tell us?
You won't see this, but
can you tell us?
It was just like it was with the girl, and she was just like really sad. She sees this. We were just so different. She was like, I want a man to be the breadwinner. He needs to earn this amount, and he needs to like not have girlfriends, and he needs to like only do this, and like he needs to. She was like, this is first date too, and she's like,
I mean, she's laying down her expectations.
Exactly, and I'm like, you might as well say this now.
You're like, if 5 minutes in, this is not me.
If I find out 10 days later, then I'm gonna be pissed. But yeah, and I was just like, and she's like, you need to be successful. You need to be working. I'm like, but working and success doesn't always go hand in hand. Like, at all. Success to me is being happy. Success to me is being able to walk 2 minutes down the road to my beach, go for a swim, go for a surf, come home, you know, be able to work from home, be able to do this. And I'm already doing that. I feel like I'm succeeding because I'm so happy.
You're doing what you want.
Doing what I want, and I'm happy. That's my success. So when she was saying, you need to be successful, I'm like, I I already am successful in my mind. That you're thinking of success in a completely different.
Hers is probably money and
yeah, exactly.
You know.
No hate to her.
No.
Watching this.
But I guess like that's what you go on dates for.
Yeah, exactly. And
find that
I need to. My friend's dating at the moment, and I'm looking at her. I'm like, you're doing well, and she doesn't like any of the guys, but she's like, I'm just doing it just to get out there, and I'm like,
I think you need to like
start doing that.
I mean, I'm not going to tell you what you need to do, but
tell me what I need to do.
I feel like you just need a date with no intentions.
I know, I do.
Like,
and that's why I
say yes,
Hinge.
yes, man.
Yeah,
you know,
say yes. I know. I need to get back to my yes, man.
Yeah,
it's been knocked
maybe
down.
Man. Just yeah, maybe man.
Yes to a man.
yes to a man. But just say yes to like, you know, if someone's asking you on a date, like they want to hang out, be like, yeah, okay, but just so you know, like I'm not really looking for anything. I'm just going with the flow. Like,
but then I don't
get you.
Yeah, I know.
Like,
but
don't beat yourself up over like leading somebody on.
Yeah,
because at the end of the day, like, fuck you owe nobody anything from one date.
As long as I make it clear, I don't want to like, you know.
As long as you're open about it.
Yeah.
Who gives a fuck?
Exactly.
And I think you learn so much more about yourself.
Yeah.
After that. Do you have any advice for anybody that's kind of going through the same things that you're going through or have been through that you want to like tell people, fuck, like this wasn't the typical way that I thought about it, but like now that I've been through that, even about the breakup, like even about like healing after the breakup and
find your group of people. I found a completely different friend group that I didn't have during the relationship, and they are just the best people in the world. The people that I had in the relationship, I couldn't even call them after the breakup. Like they were pretty much all Phoebe's friends.
Yeah.
But none of them, like I had no one after we broke up, not one person I could call except for back home. Couldn't go and stay at any of their houses because they're all her friends and didn't have anyone, not one person. And I just found people, I just started being more open to like friendships and I could talk to them about it and just finding your people to click with and hang out with. And I'm so happy I just like allowed myself to like make friends really easy. I was just really open to it because now I have amazing friends.
Yeah.
And yeah, just try not to care so much. I know it's easier said than done, but like the more you talk about something you're uncomfortable with, the more you do something you're uncomfortable with, it just becomes so much easier.
Oh, exactly.
Like, take the risk, leave your hometown.
Fuck it. Live uncomfortably.
Live uncomfortably.
Yeah.
Because you have the best stories to tell after.
You
want to be 50 and tell your kids all these crazy cool stories. You don't want to be 50 and be like, yeah.
Started the trade, then just stayed home.
Yeah.
Went to the pub.
Studied for 10 years and then died.
Exactly. Like, I think it's so inspiring that you are able to talk about it and experience that for yourself.
Yeah.
But also show the younger generation that this is a part of life and this is something, you know, not to be ashamed
of. Have fun with it. Have fun with life.
Exactly.
Have fun with dating.
And I'll say thank you so fucking much for coming.
Thanks for having me.
Like, it feels just amazing to hear your story and, you know, just talk about even breakup. Like that's my worst nightmare.
Yeah. Oh, no one.
So I've taken a lot from this.
No one prepares you for a breakup. It is fuck.
I'm getting married and I'm
sick.
This is not happening. But guys, thank you so much for every stream that we've had on our last episode for the new rebrand. It has been honestly insane. And just the support we've had, especially on the Patreon, has been, oh my God, I can't even begin to describe the expectations that were just blown out of the water after that. Like, it is so fun over there. We're all having so much fucking fun and the tea's getting fucking spilt in there so much more than here. So thank you so much for every subscriber on there. And be ready for next week because we have some more fun, exciting guests. Bye.